G'day everyone, it's Dave here, and we've got Trevor Lawson on the line to have a chat about big Group 1 on Saturday. Just a reminder, with the Melbourne ratings membership, so he covers all Melbourne metro meetings. It's a great time of year to be a member, considering all the good horses and the good racing that we've got right now. There's a few different options as to how you want to go about it. There's even a one-day membership if you want to give Trevor a go, and there's a Saturday only membership if you've got commitments during the week. So there's a fair bit of information that comes out with best bets, which are pretty simple to follow in the morning. It's also a rating sheet and a live page with Trevor. So we'll introduce Trevor and have a chat about the Group 1. How you going, mate?
I'm good, Dave. Thanks. Yeah, good.
Yeah, it is a good time of year. So it's the Group 1 Caulfield Guineas that we'll focus on today. There's a short price favourite and probably a race that there aren't that many genuine winning chances.
No, it's sort of a bit of a skinny race. It's just sort of a pity that the favourites sort of at the moment, it's sort of $1.90, you know, sort of all the corporates as we're sort of doing this Thursday afternoon. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. It's at the moment it's field of 14. Rainier, which was unfortunately unlucky for us last week, scratched. The speed map is here. Similar to their last start, I thought Native Soldier would lead again. Tavasam would come across to sit outside it. The stablemate of Native Soldier, Leonardo Da Hinchi, can go forward at the start as well. Musselbrook's got blinkers first time. He can sit behind the leader. Oohood will trail the speed, or he may or she may settle slightly further back. The favourite, the Autumn Sun, I've mapped sort of just off the fence. He's drawn barrier 5. He needs to keep the 2 horses that he's drawn inside him, or 3 of the horses that are drawn inside him to stay off the fence. He wouldn't want to be back here in this position here, sort of fall back the fence. That may be a bit difficult for him. So I think he'll, you know, basically McDonald will ride him along a little bit at the start and then basically try and stay in the running line. Rageous, Gemstones sort of sit midfield and the rest sort of go back. Good and Fast and Facilitator, most of the time they've always gone well back. They are blinkers first time, but which sometimes gives the intention they're going to go forward, but I still thought they'd go back. So to sort of map that if the stablemate Leonardo Da Hinchi did go back, on paper it would be a map with not a lot of speed.
All right.
So
with the Autumn Sun, you said not quite a tricky map, but you've got James McDonald to pilot. You've got a fair bit of confidence in what he'll do.
Yeah, they're the better riders and, you know, that sort of thing. But most of the time it sort of hasn't shown this, you know, a great amount of speed. It's raced in sort of a bit smaller fields and all this. But, you know, I suggest that this is a sort of grand final and, you know, it's not to say it couldn't win if it was back on the inside, but, yeah, excuse me, ideally, just, you know, he'll just want to settle in the running line.
All right, it's definitely a spruik horse and obviously the hot favourite. How does it rate on, you know, the way you approach this race?
He's had 5 starts. He's won 4 races. He won 3rd up at a mile as a 2-year-old, winning Group 1 race in Brisbane, albeit on a heavy track. Then he resumed at Rose Hill. I think it was the Rosebud. I'm not 100% sure what the names for Sydney, but he had no luck at all. He was knocked over in the straight and went to the line under hard held. And then last start, I think in the Golden Rose, he got back to the last and rattled home down the outside. On my figures, he returned a figure of 64, which for a 3-year-old's pretty well sort of Group 1-ish. You can see here on the right in his sectionals, the red figures are top 10. So he ran the third quickest 800, the fifth quickest 600, the seventh quickest 400, and the second quickest 200 of the day. And you can see in the race that the second best or second quickest horse in that race was sort of like, 14, 19, 22nd, 24th. So he ran roughly 3 lengths quicker than anything else in that race. He just looked an outstanding horse. The fourth horse, Sandbar, he ran second last Saturday, coming back in distance. The other 2 horses, Graf runs in the Everest, so we'll sort of know something, see how it goes. I think it's run before the Guineas, but it just looks a good, solid rating race. Time-wise, they ran, you can just see down the bottom here, they ran almost 1 second quicker than the fillies and mares. They're in different sectionals, but it was a fast run race, and got a very good rating for it. I just left it at that figure, 64. I didn't improve it or anything like that, so that seems sort of genuine to me. Native Song, just nice horse. He ran honestly first up over 1100, and then at Caulfield he drew the outside barrier and crossed and did a stack of work and just ran away from him and won easily, pulling up. On my figures, he returned 62. He then went down the straight. I tend to forgive horses a bit down the straight. Sometimes they get on the wrong leg. Sometimes they go the wrong side of the track. So he ran below the figure there, returning 55.5. But he was lame after the race and he pulled up with poor post-race recovery. And it was down the straight, so I was happy to put a pen through it. The next start, he returned to Caulfield over 1400. We had a pretty good collect backing him that day, and he drew barrier 15 and crossed them easily and ran away, winning by 2 lengths. He is going to 1600 for the first time, but he was a career running 1400 and he ran it easily, and off the map where there's not a lot of attackers, I think he can get a pretty easy run for a fair amount of the race, and then he can just sprint home. And I just think he's a nice horse, and I definitely want to be on him. Then we get to a couple of stragglers. Racket Ruskell, I didn't think had any chance. Leonardo Da Hinchi is the stablemate to Native Soldier. He ran well at Flemington when he sat outside Grunt and fought on terrifically. And then at Moonee Valley, he rated slightly down, but it was a funny race where he was held up the side, and he only got in the clear at the 100 and then flew home and won quite well in the end. He sort of won by 3/4 length, but he ran, Musselbrook was in front of the 200, and he ran his last 200 3 lengths quicker than it, and only beat it by 0.8 of a length. So really, he made up something like 3 lengths on the second horse in the last 200 metres. So I rated him slightly above what he did at Flemington, which to a figure which I thought he could probably do at Moonee Valley with a clear run. also at Moonee Valley was running over 16, so he has had a run over 1600. Didn't like Outrageous. Gem Song is a Sydney galloper who ran second last start. His figures have progressed each run. They were going to settle more prominently last start, they announced, but he still settled second last. He ran behind Mickey Blue Eyes. There was a gap to third. Not 100% with the format of the race, but I just left the figure. Craig Wim's ride, he's drawn barrier 11. Any sort of luck, he'll get a sort of trail into the race. Good and Fast has blinkers first time. And made up good ground last start. He didn't have much luck first up off a break, and then last start he made good ground from well back. He's going to get back again from barrier 14, but I sort of just let him improve off his Flemington first up rating. As you can see, I've sort of got him 50 to 1. And then the filly, she was a maiden before last start, but I mean, at the moment now she's a maiden that's won $1.3 million. So, and she's been beaten an inch, won by an inch. So arguably she could have won 4 races. So she was strong in the Group 1 flight stakes. Fiesta runs in the fillies edition. It has sort of consistent ratings. It runs in the 1,000 guineas down here earlier, so that might frank the form. Not many fillies take on the colts in the Derby. Sorry, in the guineas. He could have gone to the other race, but I've got her returning 59. She'd done 59 before. She'd done sort of 60 and a half as a 2-year-old. So looked a consistent rating for me, and I've left her in there. And I get her about $7.50. So if I take out, just with the way my scale is, it prices every horse, even though it doesn't price them exact after a certain thing. So I might say 200 to 1, but in reality they're 5,000 to 1. So if I click those out at 100%, I get a market of about $2.05 or $2 Autumn Sun, $4.60 Native Soldier, about $23 Leonardo, $10 Gem Song, 50s Good and Fast, and about $7.50 Oohood. So we go to the market. This is Thursday afternoon. Autumn Sun's odds on, and he's $1.96 on Betfair. Not there's a lot of money in there. Native Song sort of $6.50 to $7. Leonardo's $8, $9. I think it's under the odds. Gem Song's a little bit of value at 15 and 12, and Oohood's a little bit of value at sort of 10 and 9. I've got the one clear favourite, and I got it like $2 or $2.05, and it's $1.90, so it's not much different. But the bet I was looking to have in the race, he was a bit better odds earlier, Native Song. He was sort of $8, I think, early markets, was to sort of back him the win and have enough to back the horse to place to get my whole stake back. I thought that was sort of probably the bet in the race, and hope that he gets left alone in front and he can kick and keep running.
Sounds good. All right. Well, that betting plan will be finalised Saturday morning, and it's just because it's a Group 1 doesn't mean you get involved. I've seen races where people are interested. It's good horses going around, but if there's no value in the market, we're not betting. So this won't be the case in this race. We'll be on Native Soldier in some way.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think, I mean, you can't just because it's called this. I mean, you'd love to bet in every race, but the reality is that some there's value, some you can't work out. Some there's too many unknowns, and then hopefully there's some races that just look good to you. So we're looking forward to having a good day.
Good stuff. All right, we'll leave it there for now. For all the members that are listening in, thanks for your support. And for anyone else, by all means, check out championbets.com.au. Take a look at the Melbourne ratings, and you'll be able to bet with an edge this spring with, like I said, the best bets, full ratings, speed maps, and the live page. So thanks again, Trev.
Thanks, Dave.
Cheers.